Hello everybody and welcome to DaVinci 7's Fire Emblem Fates Conquest Lunatic playthrough. Now this is a pick my units playthrough, meaning that the people of the internet have very nicely chosen what units and classes for me to use. And the internet being what it is, some of these choices are not exactly ideal, but they are what I'm going to work with. I don't know. We have been given a plus strength minus luck Corrin. That is a dark mage. So we're going to be swapping to that as soon as we can, which is level 6. Now we are bound by the constraints and the laws of Fire Emblem, which means that I am not actually able to, start the game with a dark mage Corrin. But I will do everything in my power to choose the units and the classes that I have been assigned as soon as I can. Now I am skipping over this dialogue and these story cutscenes, and I will continue to do so by default. But if you do not want me to do that, if you want me to watch the cutscenes and read out the character dialogue, I will be very happy to do so. Just let me know down in the comments. We're also not going to watch any of these fights because none of them are useful. Now, I will quickly summarize the story here for what's not going on. Corrin's having a dream.
Listen.
In this dream, we're fighting.
We've got this.
Imaginary people from Nor
Be careful.
as allies of Oshido, even though Corrin has grown up his whole life as a Norian prince. Whoa, what's up with that? Alright.
Okay.
And blah blah blah. And that's the prologue. It's two guys. These are all tutorials. None of them are hard. There's the intro cutscene. Corrin's going to wake up.
Let us begin.
And he's going to need to train with Xander, and if he does not best Xander, or at least land a scratch on him, then he will never be allowed to leave the fortress that he has been imprisoned in his whole life. That's what's going on here. That right there was the game introducing Dragon Veins as a mechanic. It is actually bad to heal up fully here because of Xander's personal. He holds back against everyone that is missing a point of health. We do get a speed level here, which is not bad, and defense. No strength though, which is disappointing. Technically, I could miss this attack and get an immediate game over, but I'm pretty happy with the 98%. Technically, the correct play is to go and heal up on the Dragon Vein tile for one more turn to ensure that you don't get a game over, but that's just so slow.
Allow me to join you.
Now that I have been able to leave the Northern Fortress, I have been tasked with executing these two prisoners of Oshido, Kaze and Rinka, to prove my place at King Garen's side. Before we do that though, we are going to change some of our settings around. So that I am comfortable playing. Now, what the game wants you to do here is it wants you to go here, activate this Dragon Vein, and fight while standing on these ceiling tiles. However, on Lunatic, this guy has a Kodachi, and Rinka has a Throwing Club, which means there's a lot of throwables coming in from this side, and dealing with the pincer movement is very, very annoying. So instead, we're going to not do that. We're going to flout what the game tells us to do in the tutorial, and we're going to just not take on both sides at the same time, because doing that is really, really painful. Something nice about this chapter that never changes is that Gunter one-shots the samurai, and this is extremely useful. What? Yeah, they both came down here. Kaze attacked Gunter, and that samurai attacked Gunter and promptly got one shot for his trouble. We are going to be able to take out Kaze with our plus strength Korin here. This is very difficult to do if you don't have plus strength. And we're going to get a point of strength. We're also going to go to point of magic, which is going to be useful because this is eventually going to be a dark mage, then a dark knight Korin. We're also trying to put as much XP as we can on Korin right now, because any XP that we put on Felicia or Gunter will eventually be lost since we are not using those units in our playthrough. Now, since we are actually currently incapable of pairing up, we are just going to have to watch our positioning. And Felicia did take out that samurai because she did double him. There is actually a decent chance that Gunter dies if he sticks around here. And we don't want that to happen. I want to pair up here, but I am not given that chance. So Korin will essentially just take on Rinka alone. Ooh, that's an extremely good level up from Korin. I am very happy with that. I am just going to continue to... Everyone else is just going to continue to watch as Korin savagely beats this woman. And just dodges all her axes. Now, if I land this attack, she does hit me for, what, 10 because of her personal. She does do 4 more damage if she is damaged, so this is actually going to be us backing up with Korin, healing to full, and being healed by Felicia.
Alright.
She's going to continue to throw things at him like the child that she is. And we're going to figure out that doing this is not really avoidable. This is not going to be a 100%. This is a 98% chance.
I'll help you.
But I'm pretty confident with a 98%. If this did not hit, then Rinka would have killed Felicia, and this next chapter would have become a complete nightmare. But it did not happen, which I'm grateful for. So Korin ends up sparing these two prisoners and earning Garen's wrath. And in order to appease Garen, he then has to go and check up on a military installation next to the bottomless canyon. Now Garen, in his infinite wisdom, has granted him this guy, Hans, as a bodyguard, but we will soon see that this is not going to turn out as well as you would hope. We are also going to mismanage our units here, but everything is going to turn out fine.
It'll be fine.
Korin is going to demolish the lives of these men,
We've got this.
unless he misses 91s, which would make me very sad indeed. Another level up for Korin. None of these points are speed, which is going to be a problem later. This samurai has 14 speed. If Korin does not have 10... Korin does have 11 speed with the Felicia pair-up, but without the Felicia pair-up, he's going to get doubled by that samurai, which is going to pose a bit of an issue. We are going to be wanting to take that fight for the XP. I've never seen Hans land the crit here. I think it's scripted that he doesn't. But yes, Hans, very stupid, does not actually have the stats that his advanced class would imply. Since we don't actually care about the Felicia XP, nor do we really care about turn count, we're going to do the asinine thing and have Corrin wait on this fort until he's full HP, which thankfully didn't take very long. Now then, what we're actually going to do here is, because we have 9 defense, that's a lot for this point in the game. We're only going to take 7 damage. No, we're going to take less than that. Okay, there's no actual point in pairing up Felicia unless we want to get dual guards. Do we want to get dual guards? I don't think we want to get dual guards. We want attack strikes. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to activate this Dragon Vein. Oh, we do want not to get dual struck though. That'll get us killed. We're going to pair Corrin up with Felicia for that devoted partner buff. And we're going to have Corrin take a whole bunch of damage here. Corrin may or may not hit this guy back. I don't really care. He did, which is nice. And then he's going to take 10 damage from these archers. Corrin does have enough speed to double these archers now, which is very nice.
We've got trouble.
Corrin now can't die. It looks like he can die because he only has 7 HP. But he takes 6 damage from this guy. Or 5 damage from this guy. No, he has 11. Yeah, never mind. 4 damage from this guy. And yeah, 5 damage from this guy. And as you can see, he has a fully charged tool gauge. So in fact, I'm just gonna run away with Gunter here, since we don't know. We're not gonna run away far enough.
It'll be fine.
But that's fine. That's utterly inconsequential. Either way, we're just going to cut this guy up and maximize our efficiency. Now, our next order of business is going to... Technically, I could wait on that fort for another, like, 2 turns to get to full HP without exhausting this heal staff, but oh well. Now, our next order of business is to pull these 2 archers. Now, because I have played this map before, I know that when these archers are pulled, we're going to have 3 Sky Knights spawn down here. These Sky Knights are not going to have enough attack damage to actually be a threat, but they will, you know, exist. Corrin can't quite get in range to pull these archers yet. I don't actually want to pull them where the boss can hit us, because that's going to be very annoying. We are, however, going to pull in Demoiselle range, because there's no reason not to. We are going to carefully choose the positioning of our units. So that just the Sky Knights can attack Gunter. Oh, Felicia dodges the 87. I had planned for her to take that attack, but apparently Felicia ain't having none of that shit. Again, we want to put as much XP on Corrin as we can. So we're just going to let Corrin take out all these Sky Knights, and he's not going to do a bad job of it. Felicia's level ups, that was a terrible level up. Thankfully it doesn't matter since we're not going to be using her very soon.
It'll be fine.
Oops. I did mess that up, and we're going to need to take an extra turn here to minimize our damage taken from that archer, because I want Demoiselle. If I don't do this, this actually becomes a non-negligible amounts of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count. Well, we're going to back up a bit here. The reason we do this is because I don't want to fight that archer in a way that puts me in range of the boss.
We can do this together.
Alright, and those archers are cleared. We are going to be moving on to the next section of the map, which is the attacking that little fort up there. Just gonna avoid this boss since there's no reason to fight him. And we do have to be careful when we approach this place. Whoops. Right as I say that I mess up. Okay. Now, unlike what the art would show, this is actually not a tile you can step on. This looks a lot like a tile you can step on, but it's not a tile you can step on. This is a very cramped place to fight, which is not ideal. However, if you attempt to take this path over, it's actually even worse. So, we're just going to go ahead and pull with Gunter, who will take a lot of damage for doing so, but not enough to get him killed.
You have my support.
And at this point in the map, Gunter is no longer really necessary for completing it, so even if he died, I would not be super sad. Now, one thing to note here is that this samurai does outspeed Corrin by a very large margin. He will actually double Corrin. He does, however, only have 17. This archer gives +2 strength, I think. So 19 attack. So he will do at most 18 damage. He will not kill Corrin. He will do a lot of damage to Corrin and make me regret. And make me have regrets, but he will not kill Corrin. In addition, this archer, again, will do a lot of damage to Felicia, but he will not kill her.
You'll be alright.
There he goes. Doing that a lot of damage to Felicia TM.
We've got trouble.
And we are rather efficiently dealing with these enemies. I could have Felicia finish this guy off, but there's no real reason to do it. It just deprives Corrin of XP. And if there's anything we need this run, is going to be XP on Corrin in these first few chapters. The rest of this map is pretty much a cakewalk. Just hit these guys with corn until they fall over. I'm going to have Felicia rest on this tile. We could have Corrin one-shot these guys with the Gunter pair up, but that would actually gain us less XP, and it would also deprive us of weapon rank. There's no reason to do it. Especially when we're going to be waiting all these turns to preserve the Felicia staff uses anyway. Now, while Felicia XP is not super valuable at the moment because we are not using her past the beginning chapters in this playthrough, it still is better than heal staff charges because staves are very cheap. Whoops, that's gonna cost me a turn. Mozu will do exactly 24 damage to Gunter if he hits with all of his attacks. This is not something we want to happen, so we don't want to attack, but we can just leave him here. In fact, we can also leave... No, we can't leave her here. I thought we could just leave her here, but we can't. Demoiselle getting that block in. Gunter will soften... will miss and fail to soften him up. There's really no reason not to try this again. In fact, because this is the best way to do this, we will do it over and over again until it works out. It doesn't really matter exactly how much damage it does, so I'm sending him in before the debuffs wear off. My goodness. Gunter, please. You have more than 10 HP. You are fine. Thank you!
Age before beauty.
Goodbye. I beg to differ. This is over. This chapter is over after a mere 39 turns. God, I am inefficient. But that's the map. We've put a lot of XP on Corrin. Ryoma comes to check out the fort. Ryoma is the High Prince of Hoshido and an extremely competent fighter. And then Xander comes in. Xander is the High Prince of Nor, also an extremely capable fighter. He determines that there is nothing of value to be gotten from fighting there and leaves. We are going to end it off here for today. This is the first 3 chapters done. We will do chapter 4, Hoshido, in the next session. Alright, this is DaVinci07 signing off. Until next time.